I am back at the death trap. So I'm back here at this job which I showed one of my other videos where the wiring's an absolute mess and there's loads of dangerous stuff going on here. And I'm here today over the next couple of days to carry out the remedial work. So what I've done is I've had a quick look around to see what's really involved here. A little bit more than what I expected, and I've only allowed 2 days for this. So I've got an awful lot to do, and we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to do. So let's jump straight into it, and let me show you what we're dealing with first of all. This ladder to get up into this loft is an absolute death trap. I've like had to wedge some wood underneath it because it just keeps sliding underneath me. So if this is the end of the video, I have probably died. Let me get my balance. What we have to start with is a couple of rat's nests. So we have all of this to deal with. We have all of that over there to deal with. Some other things that I've found. So we've got like this socket here with this wired like this for some reason, so that's nice. We have this light that's being wired up like this. We have the broken light switch there, all exposed. Junction boxes like this. Oh, we've got something going on here. Not really sure what's happening there yet. In the loft, I've got loads of bits and bobs to do. The first thing that I'm going to do is, I think, have a bit of a tidy up because I don't like working in mess. And I know some of this cable's scrap, so we're going to clear all that out of the way, give myself some clear work room, and then I'm going to crack on with sorting this light out, put a new LED light up and rewire that. So then at least I've got a bit more better lighting up here. That's essential. And then crack on with all these other little bits. And then downstairs, well, I'll show you something in a minute that's rather shocking, but we'll come to that later. And also what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you some of the tools that I use, because I need to get, like I say, I haven't got a lot of time for this, so I've brought like some good kit with me to get this done as quick as I can. I need to secure all these cables, and I've got a Milwaukee cable stapler, which is absolutely mustard. I love it, and that's such a time saver. I'll show you that later. There's other random stuff that I've seen, like look at this. A random earth block. Oh, just seen this as well. We've got some more connector blocks over there. So there's going to be quite a lot of junction boxes. I'm going to whip off some sockets and check all those connections anyway, but does it need a rewire? Or does it just need sorting out? I don't know yet. So I'm going to work up here, get this sorted out, and then I'm going to go downstairs. I need to attack that consumer unit, rip that out, start that all over again, test all the circuits, and then that will be the decider really. And the other thing people asked me was like, how do you price this sort of job? Again, I'll address that in a bit because it's quite awkward. So we're going to crack on. My priority today is just simply to make this safe, not get it working. That's the wrong attitude as far as I'm concerned. Get it safe and working. Safety first. Because at the end of the day, it's my name going against this now, so it has to be done right. And I know there's a lot of critics online, so it'll be a good job, don't worry. And if it's really, really bad, I'm not going to upload this video. I am a big fan being as organised as possible, which is why I've brought up everything that I think I need for the time being, and I'll run you through some of my kit and what I'm going to be using to make this job as easy as possible. So when I'm working in like really tight spaces or difficult places to get to, I have different sorts of toolkits and tool bags that I sort of load up for the job. So I've got this little Vito Pro pack here, really handy, and I've just put in it like the essential tools that I need for this job. I've got this other little Vito Pro pack with this little Makita M12 battery drill in it. So I've had this for, I don't know, about 2 months now, I think it is. Yeah, 2 months. I put the dates on stuff, and I've been battering it, to be honest, to see how good it is. And I'm going to be doing reviews on this stuff, but I don't want to do it straight away. None of this is given to me. I'll buy all this myself. And I don't really believe in the old reviews where someone just gets something for free, does a sponsored video, has a go for 10 minutes and says it's brilliant. That's just, it's rubbish. So I date everything, use it. If you see any of my kit that you want to know what it's like, if it's any good for anything, just let me know. Comes with this angle piece. That gets you out of trouble if you like doing like working kitchens and you're under units or anything like that, tight spaces. And it also comes with like this offset piece here, and what that means is, you know, if you're drilling and you're quite tight to a wall or a unit or something and you can't get your drill in there without it going at an angle, it's to get you out of trouble. Good. One of those things that you only use once in a blue moon, but once in a blue moon you need it. So that's that. And attached to this again, I've got some more of these Vito bags. like hole saws and bits in. You often find yourself going back to the van for or going back to the rest of your tools and getting it, just bring it all up. The next thing I'm going to show you, which is brand new, as you can see from the date, it's a cable staple gun by Milwaukee. Again, it's M12. This is going to save me a lot of time here because these fire metal clips, I'll show what they look like. We're in one of these bags. So this is what the clips look like. I'll be using today to prevent premature collapse of the cables. I've looked online, I can't really see anywhere where people, you know, specify if these are fire rated or not, but they're metal, look good to me. Better than a plastic 2.5 clip. So that's what I'm going to be using. And the last thing I want to show you is this Rumpotech cable roller. I use this for like all my SWA cables, but you can also use it for 2.5. So instead of just ending up with coils of cable, you can put that on there like that, and you can just reel your cable off. Massive time saver, keeps it nice and tidy. I love this thing. All this gear is not cheap, but you know, if it's your business and your career and you want to do good work, invest in good tools. I also, just so you know, put my name on the side of all my tools, so if you ever see any of my tools at like a car boot sale, let me know they've been nicked. So this is that Milwaukee cable stapler. Right, the other thing I like about it is it's quite narrow, which means you can always get in between the joists if the joists are a bit tight, but this is how good it is. You literally just push it on, fire it in, done. Don't know about you, but to me, that's absolutely brilliant. Just think how long it'd take you to clip this with clips. Absolute nightmare, in comparison anyway. I know we're all used to doing it, and I'll just show you what they look like. So they can move, so it's not damaging the cable, but they are well in there. One flaw I have found with this, because I'm just going to be brutally honest with you, to change the adapters, you just pull that, and then you've got this bit on here, and they advertise it like you can just leave Phillips bits in it. But what I found is that they just pull out. So you know, if you like, you get a bit of a sticky screw, this just comes out. I find that really annoying. So because of that, I'm always using this chuck just to keep it in. So I think there's definitely room for improvement on that. Maybe there's newer ones out, I don't know. But it comes with 2 speeds and it's pretty good. So when you're just like fixing back boxes to joists, for example, like I'm going to do now, it's absolutely perfect. This ladder I'm standing on is so dangerous, yet here I am stood on it. And this is one of those hole saws which has got the magic spring in it that doesn't work, although it did work in a previous video I showed you. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave it in the description below. Otherwise you've got to keep doing that, which is annoying. Never mind, I just get frustrated with things that are designed to do things certain ways and don't do it. That's why I think it's important to be honest with you guys about this sort of stuff, because tools are super expensive, so there's no need to mislead, because I wouldn't want to be misled. Well, this is just for that light switch. We're going to get that changed and get the light up and then start working on some of these junction boxes. I've used 2 bin liners up so far with rubbish. I want to get this on the wall so I can show you how this is suitable for this sort of job. Rather than lugging massive drills up or impact drivers, don't need it. I'm a Makita guy myself normally. I saw this advertised, wrongly watched a review. So I will pop the new light switch there. I think that's better than that, don't you? Perfect. That's why I like this little drill. It's just lovely for this sort of work. Here we go. I'm absolutely sweating up here, but look at this shocker. They've just used a ceiling rose as a junction box. We're getting there though. I also want to say that I just heard on the radio that the A-level results have just been released and it determines your future. I just want to let any of you younger ones know that those A-levels do not determine your future, you determine your future. Just opened up this ceiling rose and it's just one thing after the other here. So what we've got, I don't know if you can see that, but we've got this flex cable. The earth's been used as a switch wire. It's just absolutely shocking. I don't know who does this and, you know, sleeps well at night. Time for a job update. This is taking me longer than what I thought, but we're making progress. So this is that area now, basically all sorted out. I've just got that black cable to support, which was installed by the solar people who couldn't be bothered to clip it either. Well done you. It's things like that that really annoy me, because they've obviously walked into this job and seen it's a complete mess, just so they just thought they would just carry on the trend of ruining it for the customer. So that staple gun's turned out to be amazing. It does red clips, it's not the neatest, but it certainly does the job. So that's that all clipped down there. You can see the coax is all clipped down there. These cables have all been clipped and supported. I've done it along all the joists that I possibly can. This is all tidied up. I've had to go over the joist here just because otherwise I've just got to rewire everything basically. So and I've only got 2 days, but it's definitely a lot safer and better. So there's a couple of things I discovered with that nail gun. First thing, you can fire it into breeze block like that. And the second thing is that it doesn't really have a safety, so as soon as you push it down, it will just fire, which means that it will go through cables if you haven't set it properly, and I'll let you guess how I found that out. Anyway, good job I can fix that. So what we've got left up here anyway is these cables have all been clipped. I've got another armoured there that I need to cleat as well. I'll do that later. And then coax has all been clipped all the way around there again. And then I'm just left with this bird's nest. So I think today, if I can get to the stage where I've got this sort of all tidied up, ready to be dressed in the board tomorrow, then I'll be at a pretty good stage. Then I've just got the consumer unit to do, the testing to do, the EV charger to do. So it's going to be a long old day. Anyway, back to it. It's time to get the spit nail gun out. I've got an armour to clip, which feeds an outbuilding, and I've also got to clip the Solar Boys cable because they couldn't be bothered to do it. So if you're watching this by any chance, then shame on you. Anyway, what I'm using are these D-Line EV Ultra cable clips. So they're not just for EV Ultra, they're very, very versatile, because if you look at them, they've got these 3 slots in them, which means they can go around smaller cables or bigger cables, which is great. And I'll show you how they work. And it's super quick when you're using a bit nail gun. See if I can balance you there. If you fall over, I'm sorry, but you are like balanced on fiberglass. So literally, this is the E27 spit nail gun. I love this thing. And you just fire them in like that. And then you just fold over the clips, wrap them up. These are fire rated. So, you know, that's something I'm really trying to concentrate on today, is make sure that everything is clipped with fire rated clips to prevent premature collapse of the cables, because we all know the risk of that. And it's the poor old firemen that get tangled up and die, all because someone couldn't be bothered to clip a cable. And as you can see, the cable's not long enough, so that's brilliant. Well done. Well done for installing a cable that doesn't even reach. There's nothing I can do about that. Once I've finished here over the couple of days, I'm gonna have to obviously run through all the additional works that have got to be carried out still. I'd even suggest getting these guys back to redo this, because it's shocking. How they signed it off, I don't know, saying that this installation was correct and all done. Don't know. But there you go. Let's get on with this SWA to the other end. I'm up to 3 bin liners now, rubbish. I've thrown away so much. And I also banged my head on the corner of this wood and that really hurt. But there you go. So what I've done just over there is I've tie wrapped the cables down the side, and I've fixed it against that bit of timber with some metal band and a spit gun again. So that's that secure, and then I just need to disconnect the consumer unit, pull all the slack through and tidy and redress it all. I think that's a job for tomorrow. If I can get up here buttoned up today, I'll be happy with that. Everything's clipped, everything's made safe. It'll be a good effort. And then the EV Ultra cable will be prepared at both ends, ready for connecting up and sorting out. That staple gun's been an absolute saver as well. So far 10 out of 10, and on the battery light level, it's used not a single light yet, and I've hammered it. I've put in probably a few hundred clips now. So far I recommend it, but it's only been a day, so you can take my word for it for the day. Long term, don't know yet, but I'll let you know. I'm at a pretty good stage now. Well, I think I've done 95% of the work up here. So I'll show you what I've done. So this area now is way, way clearer. Some of those cables are too short to do anything with. There you can see oval conduit sticking through the ceiling there. That's because they've done like a temporary kitchen rewire. So that socket's not really in its place yet, but they're waiting for their kitchen to get ripped out. So that can be tidied up later on. If we have a little look around. So we've got obviously new light, that's all sorted. All the crazy wiring, that's all gone now. What we've done over this side, all the cables clipped all the way along there, coax all clipped up there. Replacing dodgy connection boxes that were used prior, and then everywhere else is relatively clear now. So And over here, we've got a little bit of a jungle, but it's way better. And I'm at that sort of stage in the day where it's like coming up 3 o'clock. And I don't really want to start the consumer unit now because I'll just be rushing it to get away in a couple of hours. So I think it's best to leave that there, do that tomorrow. I've got the EV Ultra cable, D-line clipped up, although I think it's going to be short. There's a couple of other bits I can do downstairs, which I'll show you now. But otherwise, look, I appreciate this isn't the perfect job, but I'm trying to make the best out of a bad situation here without having to rewire everything because it's just not in the budget. It's not there. So if we can make sure that the cables are all clipped safely, it's relatively tidy, test through the circuit to make sure that's all okay, really, that'll have to do for the minute because really, although it's scruffy, don't get me wrong, I know it's scruffy and cable clipping isn't perfect, but it's not dangerous. So it's a chicken and egg, what you do, and this is the best that I can do with what I've got and the time that I've got and the budget that I've got. At least if I've tested it all and I've carried out all my inspections, I've inspected all the cables up here now, so we've got nothing else damaged or broken or dodgy junction boxes, that's all done. So I think we'll get on with downstairs, there's other little jobs which are shocking, and then we'll call it a day. What the hell is going on here? Look at this. New consumer unit. Old consumer unit, no cover, nothing. This old board's just being used as a junction box. Twin and earth with an earth disconnected. The thing is about jobs like this, when you come across a little bit of bodgery, which to me is definitely DIY. They're easy fixes really, you know, I'm being a bit dramatic. Like with this, all I've done is just put an adaptable box in, 225mm stuffing glands, away goes, job done, problem solved. Test the circuit through and that's it. You know, at the end of the day, the circuit wasn't long enough obviously, or it didn't want to get rewired, I don't know, but either way, all these little things really, as shocking as they are, they're easy to fix. It's no big deal really. So it's the same with this really, you know, there's nothing to it, there's not a lot to it. It looks a mess, I know it looks rough, but it's easy to sort out. So I've safely isolated it from there before the old keyboard warriors come out about cutting tags. Oh no, terrible. Stick an earth bar in, just start re-terminating, tidying it up. I've cut back the old meter tails that were just sitting in there, so it looked rough, but it was just lazy. So it's no big deal really. And then I'll just get all this connected up. And then that's another job ticked off the list. No problem. And there we have it. Job done, no big deal. All it was just getting rid of some old cables from the old installation, sticking an 8-way earth block in, connect it all up, job done. So I'm gonna leave it there today. I'm gonna get tidied up, have a good tidy up, and then get myself off. I've got to go and do a little job. And then I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm gonna reveal to you how much I'm charging for this remedial works. And I'm also going to tell you the best way of pricing it. So keep watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's day 2 and I'm back. I've got an EV charger to install today and sort that consumer unit out. We've just got a break in the rain, but the weather is absolutely shocking. And there's like thunderstorms due. So hopefully that'll die down later. So we'll concentrate on that consumer unit, get that done. I'm going to show you what it looks like before and then show you after. So this is what it looks like at the minute. And then I'm going to dress it the best I can. Again, you know, I'm limited on time. I'll do the best I possibly can, test all the circuits, and I'll show you what it looks like after. So I'm going to get cracking. So for the younger sparks or inexperienced sparks or apprentices, if you're wondering how I'm going to disconnect all of this and then put it back, it's what I do. Nice little tip for you if you haven't seen this before. But on the cables, I just put corresponding lines to what breaker it is, just numbering them up like that. And then I make notes on my iPad of what all the circuits are and what number they relate to. So you can just disconnect it all, test it all and put it all back together. Really nice and easy. But make sure you use a good marker, because if you rub them markings off, then you're just going to spend forever belling and testing out, trying to identify what ring was what, because I've got like 4 rings in here. There's like rings for different rooms by the looks of it. There you go. That's how it's been done. So once I've got it all disconnected, what I'm going to do is go in the loft and pull all those cables through the ceiling, then tidy all that up, and then I've just got whatever slack I've got left in here to dress it with. That'll mean that rat's nest in the loft will be all sorted out, and I can just cut back the cables and extend whatever I need to and get this all sorted out. Oh, sorry, something in my eye. Just look at this weather. Am I going to get this Zappy installed today? Yeah, of course I am. Right, okay, I've got my consumer unit completely stripped out. Now it looks like that. And what I decided to do as well was on all these cables, put a bit of tape on it with my number, because I noticed my pen when I was working with the cables, my marks were coming off. So for all your apprentices out there, if you're not sure, just put a bit of tape around it and stick the number on. So we've got that all stripped back, missing a bit of grommet strip. I'm going to try and put that if I can, but and then up in the attic, if I get my light, we had that rogue earth wire over here. We've pulled that out and put that back in. The meter tails were going through 2 separate 20mm holes in the board, so that's no good, you all know why. So I managed to put a tails gland in, which was a nightmare because you need to obviously do it up and you need something at the top and the bottom. I managed to just grab the threads and tighten it up, but this is where we are. So that now looks far better than what it was. I've pulled as many cables underneath the pipes as I possibly can. There's one broke cable, there's nothing I can do about that one. But otherwise, this is a vast improvement, or almost, so it's acceptable. So all I need to do is get my EV Ultra cable in there. I'm going to start dressing the board, get the charger done, and then at the end we'll have a good run through the whole thing, and I'll show you some photos of what it looked like before and what it looked like after. I know it's not perfect, I'm not perfect. I'm sure someone else could do it better than me, without a doubt. So be kind, I'm doing the best I can, and hopefully you approve. Power's back on, and I've tested all the circuits, and remarkably, they're all right. So I'm quite happy with that. So I show you the consumer unit. Please bear in mind it's not the best one I've ever done, but it's not bad compared to what was there. So this is what we have. And this is my EV Ultra for my Zappi that I'm installing. And then in all the gaps there, you can see I've fire sealed everything the best I can. So, but it's far better than what it was. And it's safe, and that's the main thing. What I'm using to fire seal it, if you're interested, is this Fire Pro stuff. It goes off in like 2 hours, rock hard. And it gives 2 hours of protection, so that's pretty good. And then I've also fire sealed the consumer unit from up above any exposed holes, so I've just gone a little bit belt and braces with this because I want to obviously do the best I can. And now I'm going to just crack on with the Zappi, get that installed, tested, and then we'll have a final run through of everything, discuss costing of this job, how to price it, etc, etc, and we'll leave it there. Nearly finished installing the Zappi. So here's the Zappi, and we've clipped the cable down and up. It goes up through the loft using the D-line clips. It's a bit windy, sorry if that ruins the mic, but I thought while I'm testing this, I'm just going to do my RCD testing now. So if you're interested, on the Maggie, just put it onto auto and EV, push start, and then basically it's going to run through a series of RCD tests. Just wait the consumer unit and you can knock the RCD back up. So when it comes to pricing this job, I didn't give a quote, I gave an estimate because I didn't know how it was going to go, if I'm honest with you. So if you're doing work like this, the best thing to do is just to give an estimate. Now, what was my estimate? Well, it was less than what I should have charged for the job, if I'm honest with you. And there's a couple of reasons for that. With this one, I did feel sorry for the customer, so I wanted to help him out as much as I could. I haven't done it for free. I've got a mortgage to pay. So, but all I've done with this one is basically guessed the materials that I would need, allowed for that, and allowed for 2 days labour, with the agreement that if additional days were needed, then that would be booked in. But we're in a pretty good place at the minute, so there are some alterations and other things that need to be done still. But as far as it goes, it's a massive improvement on what he had. Oh, nearly lost my pen. But I'm pretty happy overall, and I'm just finishing this testing. Then I'll run you through and show you the consumer unit, all the bits that I've tidied up. Then we'll take it from there. Right, so I think it's time for that all-important final walkthrough of everything that we've done here over the last 2 days. So we'll start with no more broken light switch. This rat's nest is now gone. We have 2 cables over there, which are going over the joists. Couldn't help that, they're just not long enough to do anything with. So that's something that I will speak to the owner about and see if he wants that rewired. That's up to him. Is it dangerous? No, the cables are supported. They've tested through fine, nothing dodgy about it, just short cables. We'll have a look at the second rat's nest, which was over here. So that's all nice and clear now, all tidied. And then we've got coax cables all clipped down there. That really wasn't really part of what I was supposed to be doing, but there you go. And then we have one cable clipped down that side with the D-line clips. And then all these cables along here, they've all been clipped along with another armoured or high tough. No more dodgy connections over here. We have a new light fitting installed up there. Whisker box is here taking care of some other dodgy stuff. There was an outside socket. I didn't like it. It's twin and earth clipped down a wall. It's just ropey. I've just disconnected it. If he wants that reconnected, you know, we'll run an armour down to it or something or whatever, but I'm not just leaving a twin and earth outside. So up here, all in all, far better. So I've ticked most of those boxes, and I've been through this loft with a fine tooth comb really. There are no more dodgy connections. That's it, it's all sorted. So for the people that say it should have needed a rewire, it didn't, because the drops are all fine. They're all done in conduits, you can see there. So those parts are still absolutely fine. It was just a complete rat's nest and some other bits which look DIY to me. Who done it? I don't know. Doesn't matter, it's fixed. So we'll go downstairs and see what we've done down there. If I can survive the ladder of death. I've had to like wedge some wood to stop the ladder slipping underneath me. So we had that old consumer unit which was acting as a junction box. Just ditched it completely. Put an adaptable box in there, some stuffing glands, away goes, job done. This is the consumer unit. Look, I know it's not perfect and I've made a bit of a mess with the fire sealant if I'm honest, so ignore that. So, but I've dressed it the best I possibly can with what I had. This area is a bit of a mess. This CT here is for the Zappy EV charger. So it's a bit messy here, but I've done the best I can. And it's far better than what it was. So at least you can actually work in this now and see what's going on. And then outside in the meter cupboard, all the earths are tidied up, old tails are gone. That ropey old twin and earth that was in here, that's gone. I think that was used for a temporary supply, if I'm honest with you, while the works were carried out, and they just left it in there. Couldn't be bothered to disconnect it. Sheer laziness. There you go. And then outside, we have 4 bags of rubbish, a ropey old light, and a Zappy EV charger. So I don't know about you, but for me, I think for 2 days graft, I think I've got an awful lot done. I'm a lot happier now. I know the customer's going to be happier with that. So, you know, I appreciate some of you lot are going to say, oh, you could have done this and you could have done that, or whatever. Fine, leave comments, leave some advice, leave some tips. I'm happy with that. Don't be nasty. No need for it, because I can always come back and do other bits. I'm probably gonna have to come back for a day and do other bits anyway. So if you see anything and you think, oh, maybe do this, let me know. I'll just do it. It's not like I'm just vanishing forever. So I'll get the consumer unit lid put on, and then that's it. We're all done. I'm gonna go home and have a beer, I think. So it's a Friday. I hope you enjoy a beer too. Thanks for watching as always. Look, gained loads of support recently and I really appreciate that. Please just keep it up. Hit that subscribe button for me, follow me. Anyway, catch you on the next one.